Perfect.
Beautiful.
There we go. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday night. My name is Rick Coughlin, CEO and co-founder of Grove Studios. I'm here in Ypsilanti on Railroad Street in our podcast room. I'm super excited that we finally got this started. Woo!
We got it.
Somebody mentioned that they thought it might be, Kyla mentioned that it might be Friday the 13th based on all the technical issues we had, but we got it figured out and we're live. And I'm super excited because this is a really special episode for me personally because, as always, I'm here with Max Price.
What's up,
head of
guys?
social media marketing for Grove, and he's also producer, rapper, and entertainment consultant. And I'm here with one of my very favorite singer-songwriters in this neck of the woods, man. And I've had the pleasure of seeing Chey Halliwill perform a number of times, and it's always like a sublime experience. And I just love what you do. So thank you for being patient with us.
Oh yeah, no worries. No worries.
Thank you so much for coming out. And
I'm excited to be here.
For sure.
Yeah.
We've done a bunch of these, and
Zoom.
On Zoom,
We're in the podcast room.
We're in the podcast room, and
We're inside of it.
We're really loving it.
Here.
We're here.
It's finally a thing, and I'm pumped to be here, and I'm pumped to hear music. We've been shut down for a while and not performing, but you've been working on some stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
And what would you say? Like, how much of a catalog do you have going on right now since the whole shutdown and staying home?
As far as like new songs, that I wrote,
new stuff.
Probably about like 10 songs.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I'm recording them right now, so. Yep.
Do you have a release date that you got anticipated, or?
Yep. So I'm releasing an EP this fall. I'm hoping like October, like 15ish.
Nice.
Is like when I should have it done.
Very cool. A fall release.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
10 songs. Are we going to hear all 10 songs, or just you going to do it in parts?
Yeah. I have a lot of new stuff, and I'm going to play some old stuff too. But
Sweet.
I'm starting with some new stuff. Yeah.
Ooh, we get to hear the new stuff first, y'all. Should we kick it off like that?
Yeah, let's
just get right into that, because
Okay.
I think that's it's Friday night. People want to hear music, and this is about as live as we're going to get right now. So, everybody, Chey. Sorry, I don't know why I keep doing that. Chey, we had
People do that all the time.
Yeah, it's like me and Coughlin.
Yeah. I mean, I
I'm
totally
going to call you
Chey.
Coughlin for the rest
Chey
of the podcast
Halliwill,
now.
singer-songwriter, Jackson, Michigan, going to play a new tune. What's the tune called?
play it well.
Play it well, as you do.
I've been doing well, no thanks to you. I know you think you're better off. And I'm going to hell, you say, even though you think that love is just a game. Play it well. Play it well. And hey, you really left a bad taste in my mouth, yeah. And it really seems like I can move past it. And I loved you when we loved life. We never really could seem to get it right. And I couldn't find there sometimes.
I really,
That was
I really
amazing.
like that.
Thank you.
I love that you're doing like this thing with the vocal processing. What
vocals
is that?
sound
What is
so
that all about?
dope.
Is because I don't think I've ever heard you do that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just I didn't
pedals
never
are
noticed.
a new thing right now for me.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm just trying to get as many pedals as I can just to create like a different sounds. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to stay like the same
Right.
sound. You know, like I'm just trying to experiment and try different things. And this is what this next EP is going to be, is a different, definitely like a lot different from the last release that I did a
yeah.
couple years ago.
I'm hearing that difference, and obviously like the electric thing is even more present now. You got this new sweet guitar, which when you
Yeah.
pulled it out, I was like, oh, I like that guitar a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing.
For sure.
It's
Thank
so
you.
dope. What kind of guitar is that?
Ibanez. Yeah. Art
So what was the name of the song again?
Play it well.
Play It Well. What
Yeah.
what is it? I mean, I caught some of the lyrics. I was also monitoring tech and I wasn't
Yeah,
listening as
yeah.
well, but I want to like I can't wait to go back and listen to the songs and like digest the lyrics more. But what's that song about to you?
It's I wrote it about like just relationships and like moving forward, kind of.
Yeah.
feeling. Just like looking back at a certain time and just being like, man, yeah, that didn't really work out very well.
Right.
You know.
They don't work out sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. And being able to
This is about-
recognize that and moving on,
Yeah,
with your life.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's super relatable.
I wrote that just recently, probably a month ago.
Oh, that's super fresh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you led with that one, which is awesome. I love the fact that you're doing like the drum loops and you're putting all that together and doing that. I'm always amazed at artists that can do that. I'm a guitar player, but I can't multitask like that. You guys saw me trying to set up here. You're like, but I love it, man.
So you make the drum loops too yourself?
Yeah. Just on GarageBand or whatever.
That's dope.
It's all right.
No, that's
It's all right.
awesome.
I
Full-on
thought it sounded
producer
great.
in the building.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but
Yeah. I'm really liking the tone of the guitar and just the whole new sound is really cool. So
Yeah. What inspired you to like change your sound and keep it moving,
I don't know. I just feel like we grow as people, you know, and I want my music to grow with me.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And plus I don't like doing the same stuff. I just like to experiment, you know, like with different styles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
What are like when you think about, and I'm a pedal guy. Like people see my pedal board sometimes and they're like, and I've actually pared it down over the years, but sometimes like I have the influences as far as even like the pedals that I kind of pick out just because I hear them, other people use them and whatever. Do you have any like pedal influences where you heard somebody use a pedal kind of sound and you're like, oh, I think I want to incorporate that?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you guys ever heard of like Ben Howard
Yeah.
or like Julian Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Howard's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. I've seen him live. He's actually not. It wasn't that good.
Yeah.
He didn't really talk.
Oh, yeah.
It was-
I think that's like one of the hardest things to do sometimes. I mean, I think like
It is, but I don't
You wanna
know.
hear him.
you got to
Yeah.
talk
You
right.
gotta say, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're there.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're there. and,
Talk
like,
to us.
Yeah.
He played all of his new stuff. Didn't play any old. Yeah.
See, you got to. I think you got to dig back. And I left an REM concert way back in the day because they didn't play any of their old stuff. They just only played stuff from
You
their new
gotta
album, and I
dig
was just
back.
like,
Yeah, you do.
especially if you've been around for like 30 years, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, guys, come on, you got to play a
sure.
little.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like, I went to go see Linkin Park or whatever, and people were going crazy for their own old stuff, but the new stuff is just like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. It's a tough. It's
always
a
like
tough
that.
game.
Like most, Modest Mouse played a lot of their old stuff. They
Yeah.
were sweet live.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
We saw Modest Mouse a few years ago at
Was it at Mopop?
At DTE.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah.
Nice.
That's where I saw them.
Yeah. Well, what are your favorite like styles to pull from? Like as your, I guess your
Like
old
influences?
music. Yeah. What was your old music more influenced by, and what direction kind of are you moving?
Older music is probably more like singer-songwriter style, like Tracy Chapman and like old acoustic like Ben Howard, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cat Stevens.
Gotta love the Cat Stevens.
Yeah, just
who doesn't like Cat
acoustic
Stevens? Right?
style sounding. Like I would listen to that all the time when I was younger. But now I'm just like listening more like full bands. I don't know if you guys ever heard of like Big Thief. I love her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll check her out.
Big Thief and there's a like just newer. I listen to like. Have you guys ever heard of Kevin Warby?
Warby.
Kevin Warby.
Yeah, with a W. Yeah.
He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love him. It's like just newer stuff. I guess
Newer,
like
more production kind of stuff.
Yeah. Contemporary.
Well, you mentioned Julian Baker, and that's like real.
I love her.
Like
She's Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh yeah.
Lucy Dacus. Like
good stuff.
I'm like I've been listening to them so much, and like
it's kind of like that big sound.
Inspiring.
There's like I was like thinking about Julian Baker, like lots of like reverb, kind of drenched guitar. That and you're playing a semi hollow body too, so it just got that big sound, and I identify with it because I love that's the same kind of guitar I've been playing for like 20 years because it's just got that sound.
Yeah,
so like hearing you do that,
playing
cool.
it, it was like the tone was just incredible,
just it's like warms up the room.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Nice. Can we hear more?
Yeah, let's hear the song.
Yeah, the song is called "Pain with People." Cover up my pain with people is what I'm so used to. I gotta find my way through is what you told me to do.
That was great.
That was very
seriously.
powerful.
Yeah, I'm really digging it.
Thank you.
I love that line. I cover up my pain with people.
That was the first lyric in the song, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that one grabbed me.
Getting pretty heavy in the beginning. Yeah, grabs you.
Yeah, that was good.
I think that's a super, relatable thing, because I think a lot of people, have, get that reassurance and that, get that relief from like their internal pain from someone else or from their relationship or something like that.
Yeah,
and that can be very dangerous.
It is dangerous.
Yeah,
I've always done that.
Yeah.
I just like this year has been super transformational for me though. Just writing new music and like focusing on myself.
Yeah.
And not other people, because I've always done that.
Yeah.
And like focus on my dreams and goals and my life.
Yeah.
Because like it's really hard to like move towards your pain and like face it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's what I've really been doing. Like therapy and just like, good friends.
For sure.
That love you like unconditionally and like family and stuff. Just like doing like one step at a time instead of like
all steps at one time.
Yeah.
No, I totally feel you. I was like in the same place and I think it is scary facing your pain, but running from it and hiding it with like relationships or drugs and alcohol or whatever, it's just going to come back 10 times harder later.
That was always going to come back harder later.
Yeah.
It's so interesting like that you brought that up, and I wonder because I've heard other people that I've talked to and maybe in some interviews and stuff kind of say that recently too. And I know like being locked down for a while and not really being able to go anywhere, I kind of feel like that has something to do with it. And honestly, like I've gone through some of that same kind of stuff. Like it's this almost like this whole situation has forced many of us to like get even more introspective. Not that you weren't before, because you're a songwriter, you're thinking about stuff, but do you feel like that's the case?
It is the case.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. As soon as COVID hit, it was like I was like all my anxiety just kind of went away. It's kind of weird to say.
It's opposite of everyone else.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it probably.
I didn't have as much pressure on me to be anything.
Yeah.
So that's what it was, and I just was like focusing on like converting my van into like a living space in a mobile studio because I'm gonna be traveling in it and stuff.
That's cool.
And then I've been writing music and recording and just like diving into myself, and I've had time to do that.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been like working a shitty job. For no reason,
Right.
And being a slave and like I don't know, I just feel happier than I ever have been in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's such a weird thing.
I'm on the same wavelength.
It's a weird feeling.
Yeah. It's like
it's too bad that you have like a weird feeling that you had. I'm happier than I ever had. It's weird
because I'm so used to being a sad person.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
For sure. And I think I had a similar experience like in these past like 6 months or whatever, where I was super depressed and anxious, and then I started focusing more on myself and just taking care of myself in the ways that I know I need to be taken care of, and eating good, sleeping good, just not putting
eating
like
well.
Eating well is a huge thing.
Hey, it's so important for your mental health. Like
no doubt.
You have to eat.
Yeah.
Eat healthy.
I didn't realize how much not eating would like make me anxious. If you don't have the proper like food in your body, you just feel super anxious.
Food does make you feel anxious.
Yeah.
Even more than if you have like anxiety and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you're gonna feel it anyways, but not as much. If you eat healthy, you're gonna feel 10 times better, especially like mentally. Like,
No doubt.
Yeah. I've been going for walks. I have like depression really bad too. So whenever I feel that coming on, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go into nature. I go to this place. It's like super magical. It's like right down the road from where I live, and take my dog there and just like walk until I feel better. Yeah. And then I'm fine. Like after when I get to the end, I'm a completely different person. And from when I started, it's just like I'd like dove into like sitting with myself, I'm just like feeling everything that I'm feeling instead of wanting to text somebody and be with them and like ignore how I'm feeling, you know, because I used to do that all the time.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, like sitting with yourself and like, I mean, I've been getting into a lot of meditating and just in the morning sitting there for 10 minutes doing nothing, you know, and maybe thoughts come up and stuff, but a lot of the time they have to come up and you got to think about it and then let it go. And when you actually let your thoughts surface like that and then you let them go, you actually get some relief from it.
Yeah,
you
know? No doubt.
Releasing. It's a way. It's
well,
you have to.
Yeah.
You can't. It stays in your body if you don't.
If you don't do that for yourself, it's like the whole analogy of the, you know, if you're on an airplane, you got to put the oxygen mask on somebody else that needs help, like your child or your
yourself first,
elderly grandmother or something. Like help them first, and you know,
yourself
or yourself first,
yeah,
and then help them. Yeah, I got to reverse, but you know what I'm you know what I'm trying to get at.
No, and that's for sure. It's like it's you know with these kinds of realizations, like now that we've helped ourselves a little bit, we can help other people that are struggling with the same kind of things. You know, I like your mention about nature too. It's because I've been. Like, along with my meditation, I've just been sitting outside, like, for, you know, 10, 15 minutes a day or whatever. And it's really just made me so happy, you know?
Yeah. You have to go outside. Yeah. I mean, you can't sit and play video games or watch TV. Yeah. It's just like, you know, you're not going to be happy.
And we've been lucky because the summer's been really...
Yeah,
I mean, it's been hot,
nice.
But it's been really nice.
It's been hot, but it's been nice, and
it hasn't been too hot.
I'll take the hotter weather. Yeah, not like hot, like miserable, but it's been like... Yeah, it's been good.
It's been great, and you know, I just love sitting outside, and you know,
same.
it just changed. I've really taken advantage of this summer and just been outside because it's weird. My brain like tells me that sitting inside and playing video games or watching Netflix and doing nothing is what I want to do. Like it's like you know, if you just sit around, you'll be good, but then you end up feeling worse afterwards. You know?
Especially or like scrolling through social media. Any platform now.
Yeah.
It's just like,
what do they call it? The scroll thing now? It's not like the doom scrolling. Have you heard this? Right?
I haven't heard that.
Especially right now, it's just like a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't be on Facebook right now. Mm-hmm. It's very bad for my mental health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm hearing that.
Brings me down.
Now Facebook doesn't even look like Facebook used to look like. It looks weird too. It's like all dark and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of fitting. It's kind of these are dark times, sort of. But we, you know, I think we're just trying to bring some. You know, highlighting artists like yourself and bringing some music to Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And Twitter needs some music too.
I mean, scrolling on social media, you know, you're gonna get, you know, everyone's anger and everyone's anxiety. You're seeing it all right in front of you, but at least we have social media because now
to be connected.
To be connected.
There are positive things for sure. I agree with
you know,
that.
but yeah, I can't scroll. I stopped. I don't scroll anymore. You know what I mean? I
don't either.
I just go on there for business purposes. You know?
Same. To post something or I'm on Instagram a lot more though, like because I follow a lot of really like good positive things because like you're consuming everything like whatever you're putting into your body, whatever you're looking at, whatever you're reading, it's like all affecting you.
So
I think I'm just trying to stay
very aware of that. You know what I mean?
No, I think I
try my best. Sometimes I get a little distracted or like get sucked into the screen.
We're not perfect.
You find yourself there suddenly.
Yep. You're
and
just
then you're like, oh, what am I? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go write a song or do something.
I should do something with my life.
But it seems like you have been really productive during this time. You haven't been. You've written a bunch of songs and stuff like that. So that's dope. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it sounds like
a lot too.
You're gearing up to do some traveling and bring your music into other places.
Yes, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
That's what is also like making me super happy too, is because I'm actually like living my biggest dream, which is like converting a van. I don't know.
Awesome.
I'm
it
down with that.
sounds crazy, but
no,
like,
it doesn't sound crazy at all.
Yeah, I converted my van.
Yeah,
it's all like
that's dope.
done.
Nice. What's in the
besides
van?
a few
like,
things.
What'd you convert?
I made a couch bed that pulls out.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a sink in there. I have like full power, like a solar generator. I have like solar panels
Wow.
on top.
Perfect.
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah, so I can just live off
That's
grid.
great.
incredible.
Love it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope.
making it into a mobile studio, so I can play. I'm gonna have all my music stuff in there, so I can play and sing wherever I want.
Ready,
Like
ready to
open
go.
the doors in front of mountains and write a song is like what I plan on doing.
That's
So,
amazing. 'Cause
Perfect.
Yeah, you could just pull up somewhere and have
Yeah.
a show. You know, and let people that like it follow you on social media, move on to a different area. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's dope. You don't even need a
Perfect
venue.
tour bus. I mean,
That's awesome.
honestly, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm a big
basically a tour
fan
bus.
of most people that are, pretty close to me or whatever. They know that I go on and on about like I've like infatuated with Volkswagen vans, right? Like
Oh, I love
the
them
camper
too.
van to me
I
is
really
like
do.
the pinnacle of
Yeah,
like
they're coming out with an
automotive
electric one. It's gonna be
greatness.
sick.
It's
Yeah.
like this thing that you can like it's just your daily driver, but you can also like hop in it and
Yeah,
go.
camp in it and
It's
do
amazing,
whatever in there.
right? Like it's like the best design, and it's not this big obnoxious like motorhome kind of thing.
No.
I mean, sure, I guess it'd be nice if somebody's driving you around like an amazing tour bus, right? And you could just like chill, which I could like picture that for you someday. But in the meantime, maybe you wouldn't want that, and you got this amazing camper
Yeah.
van.
Yeah, and the
That's
cool thing is
super cool.
touring is like one of the best things you can do as a musician. It's what I mean. Right
Meeting
now it's
people.
hard, but it's like
Yeah.
a successful musician. Most of the time, they'll have 90% of their income will be from shows because you can bring 100 people out and charge them $10 a piece. That's $1,000 right there. So it's like building on that, like building on your touring, and having that van so you don't have to pay as much like for places to stay or whatever. That's a great tactic.
That's exactly why I wanted to do it too. It's just to
Yeah.
live a different lifestyle as well, because I just can't fit into like the norm, which is okay if you do, like
For
if
sure.
you want
Yeah.
to have whatever you want, but yeah, I just haven't. I've always just felt different
Yeah.
about that.
How you want to
know?
do things, and
Yeah,
and I think
exactly,
that
yeah.
shoot, you should.
And that's how you want to live. You want to tour. You want to meet people. You want to play
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. You're making it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every-
let's hear another
Yeah,
song.
every time I start hearing that guitar come in, I'm like, okay, yeah,
It's
Give me
time.
some more of that.
sounds nice. Yeah. What do we got next?
I've been having like a hard time figuring out like the title for this song. I'm just gonna call it "Old Friend" for right now.
Cool. Working title. We're done with that.
Working title. Yep. And oh yeah, you fall down just to cry. And how do you make a decision that's gonna change your life? When I can't move on, if all my trust is gone. And we've been here before,
stays the same.
Wow.
I got the goosebumps on that one.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
That was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Your voice, like with that vocal processing that you're doing,
It sounds really
phenomenal.
cool. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Loving that new sound a lot.
Thank you.
What you want to talk about your inspiration for that particular song?
I got out of a relationship and was heartbroken and trying to figure out if I should move or not. And it's also like about like push and pull. Like I've always felt like relationships had to be like crazy and that's what love was. You know what I mean? So I've always like been like a little guarded too and liked pushing people away and pulling them back, pushing away, pulling back, and it's like really exhausting after a while because I mean you just have this idea in your head that okay, this is what love is supposed to be. This is what it's not. I don't know, I felt like I was just going back and forth in my head like do I really want to do this? Do I want to be in this? But it's really like about like how I am and just like just wrote about that, you know, aspect of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my relationship that ended.
Yeah.
Like
I mean
3 years.
that's always like I guess that's one of the things and not being, you know, I'm a guitar player but not a songwriter. And so I always admire what songwriters do, write about these like deeply personal things.
Yeah, one of my
and we connect like us non-songwriters, right? People that are fans of music, and even if you're a musician, it doesn't necessarily write songs, but it's like that when you can connect with those lyrics and go, oh yeah, that's right, other people are experiencing that. Like it sounds obvious, but it's like that's why the music is so important because it gives us that commonality of like, oh, other people are, you know, have had this challenge or struggle, and I love when that comes out in the music, and I think that's what makes artists like you great. Like and you can feel the not just lyrically, but like it translates into the sound that you have too. So that's why I've always enjoyed seeing you perform and hearing your music because it just has that quality to it.
Yeah, I mean it has the incredible sound, like your voice, your guitar sound, amazing, your production amazing, and but then also the realness of like. You can really feel like what you're saying, you know, and you can tell it comes from a very real place, and not every, you know, it's hard as a songwriter. I've been a songwriter for 10 years, like mostly hip hop and stuff, but it's always been tough for me to like really take my issues and problems and channel them like into my music, you know, especially with hip hop being more of like kind of a braggadocious kind of thing, you know what I mean? But one of the lines that really stuck out to me that I really liked was. I think like when you're lost, you're found. Do you want to expand on that a little bit? Because I like that.
I just feel like, so when you're like in unknown territory where you just don't really like know what's going on, you're just like deep into like pain. Like think of like the like a midlife crisis almost. You're just like, what's going on with my life? And that's when that's where like the most knowledge comes from, as far as like learning about ourselves and.
That's such a good point.
Like,
I mean, really,
where the most growth is.
Yeah.
It's where the most feeling is.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I like strive in that feeling.
For sure.
Like I've written so many songs in that. Like lost and found, like in between there, you know, in the unknown. It's just I don't know. I just love feeling something. I mean, like because sometimes, like I can't. I don't. The scariest thing is not feeling anything. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're totally just.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
Numb, right? Yeah. Like what kind of life is that? And even, like you said, I mean, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh yeah. And I started thinking about like different parts of my life where I thought, oh, that was really hard. That was a really hard part of my life. Like I was feeling super shitty at that point in my life. But now like, you know, whatever, 10 years later, 20 years later, I look back and I go, wow, I really learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
And
it was needed.
that's made me who I
Yeah.
am today, right?
Sure.
Like
I mean,
that's-
if you think
hard
you're,
times.
Totally
if
true.
you're found, if you're having the best times, if you're like doing everything you love to do in life and your life is great, you know, it's hard to have the motivation to get better, to do like this thing over here, to do that thing. Say like all the times where I've had my most growth are like dove into meditation, and dove into like the help kind of things is when I've been like super down, super depressed, so low that I just can't bear feeling this pain anymore. So I have to figure out a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know?
And you have to, because if not, then you're projecting everything else on other people. And you're not going to be very nice. And I mean, I've been there too. It's just like I haven't been like a nice person to a lot of people in the past. And that's hard to own, dude. You got to own all that stuff.
Yeah, you do.
You have to like be like, yeah, I was shitty. And-
Right.
But
Yeah.
you have to definitely face it, because it will linger and linger if you don't anyways. And it's going to affect you in other areas of your life.
Absolutely.
And so why not dive into it and be like, this is gonna have to be okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've always said, like, for myself personally, like, this might not be the best thing, but pain is like my greatest motivator, unfortunately. You know,
Yeah,
like
it
I don't have
is.
much motivation if there's no pain there, but like when I start feeling that pain, I'm like, oh shit, I better, you know, work on it a little bit.
Like, that's just what life is. It's like up and down and up and down all the time.
Yeah.
It's just like a roller coaster. And I think for me, like, just letting everything just flow and feeling everything as it comes has helped me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looping
lately,
back to
like-
what you said too about, like, you know, diving into yourself and finding happiness just sitting with yourself and being yourself.
Yep.
Like, that's so important, because life has those ups and downs, but if you can have that like happiness and grounding in yourself and what you're doing, you know, the ups and downs aren't gonna like affect you as much, you know, like you're more grounded in your happiness and peace and everything, you know.
Yeah.
So you can't always be happy, but like you really can get to a point where you're pretty peaceful, you know, consistently, you know. I think if you put some work into it, you know.
Yeah, I feel like, you can have peace, but there's always going to be things that trigger you. There's always going to be things that, like, come up and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's always been hard, like, especially when I'm triggered, I just, like, go in this, like, rabbit hole of, like, all these, like, emotions, and I'm just, like, telling myself all these things, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And,
That self-talk.
yeah, you got to soothe yourself, and I'm just learning how to do that, I
Yeah.
guess.
What are some things like, you know,
Writing
besides, I mean,
about it.
you said, you know, nature, obviously music, you know, is there anything else that you do to help?
Friends,
Yeah,
therapy,
Therapy.
Yeah.
Do you
Just
consider,
being
I mean,
young.
is music part of that therapy? Right?
Yes.
Like, right?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
I always have. I'm always writing about stuff.
Yeah.
That bothers me, or like that I'm thinking about. Like,
What's your
dying
process
and
like
shit.
when you're writing?
Yeah.
Do you
Mortality.
Mortality is a heavy one.
It's a good thing
No
to
doubt.
think about, though, because it's very real, you know?
Yeah, well, it certainly like reminds you that, like, you know, the time, you know, we
Time
have a
is
lot
limited.
of time, but we might not, and you
Yeah.
don't, and nobody knows. But the important thing is that you really treat, like, you honor that, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you're like you're doing right now. You're like, I'm doing the thing. I'm getting the van, and I'm gonna do the music, and I'm
I
gonna,
have
you know what I
to.
mean? Like, you got to honor
Mm-hmm.
that time that you have, and
I
go
can't
for
live
it.
any other way.
Right.
I just can't anymore. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at in my life.
I think that's amazing, and I feel like the music that you're writing is like that. It's you know what I mean. Like, it's following that path. Like, it's sounding really great. And Max was kind of starting to ask, but like curious about the song, you know, your songwriting process.
Yeah, like how, you know, do you do your guitar first, your lyrics
Definitely
first?
guitar first.
Guitar first,
always. And then I just like jam and just say random stuff, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I was feeling that way. You know,
Right,
it just comes
right.
out. Like,
just
I'll
kinda
be jamming
freestyle it
stuff.
sometimes?
I freestyle all the time.
Yeah, that's
like
sweet.
I even freestyle
like
during my
that.
live shows too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just say whatever
yeah. How
out.
so?
Good.
When did you start doing that? Did that like, is that something you've always done and had the confidence to do? Because I'm a rapper,
Yes.
but definitely freestyling on stage is a little bit more
Ooh.
of a jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always done that.
Yeah.
Since I've
Yeah.
been playing the guitar since I was 15.
Mhm.
I would like sit on the back porch with my parents and I would just like
That's amazing.
say random shit with them and it was
love it.
always like funny or sad, whatever came out,
Do you have any like special tactics you use while you're freestyling, or you just kind of pull it out, whatever
Just-
comes?
Just pulls it out.
Yeah.
Pull it out, I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, just pull it out of my head.
Yeah.
And just go from there. And if I like it, I just write it down. Or I always record when I'm jamming. So then, like, I'll go back and like, oh my, because I can forget how I sang something.
For sure.
And if something resonated
Yeah.
with my, like, body,
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Or got goosebumps or something.
That was the hook.
Yeah,
that was
that's
the next
exactly
hook.
what I need to sound like. So I always like I've made the mistake of not doing that, like recording and stuff like that while I'm jamming, and I forgot how I sang
totally.
it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that sucks so bad.
It is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
I hate that. Or
Yeah.
like I'll have like a good idea or something and forget to write it down, and then
Yeah.
like the next day I'm like, what was that idea?
Yeah,
Like,
you think you're gonna remember,
Yeah.
and yeah, you don't, because there's just so many ideas flowing. I can't even imagine how many times I've actually not recorded something and been so
Yeah.
pissed. I was like, that was the jam, and then it wasn't. You know,
Yeah.
it's the worst. Yeah, that's a good. You got to record yourself. It's like
Yeah, you do.
and you got to allow yourself to like write shit too. Just like
I've written
Even
so
if
many
it's
bad
just,
songs, like so many bad songs, like that will never get shown to anybody. But I had to get them out.
Yeah. yeah.
Over the last 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, you do have to get them out.
Yeah, you got to get the bad ones
Shit
out.
in there, you gotta
yeah,
get it
Right.
all out.
yeah, got to
You
get it
have
out to leave room for the good stuff.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah. So you mentioned like doing like freestyling with family, like in the backyard and stuff. I mean, are there other musical people in the family? Is that where the music comes from, or?
My grandma played the piano. My little sister can sing really well, and she could play the piano a little bit.
Nice.
And my cousin Scott's really amazing at the guitar and sings. My other cousin, she lives in Florida. She has an amazing voice. Like, she's super talented. Like, is a dancer and like can sing too, and
Nice.
play the guitar, and yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds
It's
like there's
clearly
music
in your genes.
It's definitely
Yeah,
in the family. for sure.
something's
Yeah.
there.
There's
It's
something
like-
there. That's dope.
I mean, so yeah, you've been doing this a while, and you're getting ready to gear up on the road at some point here, and
Yeah.
and do some traveling and take your music out, and I'm hoping, boy, by like next summer it can be a thing again.
But this is what I'm thinking, like with your van,
Yeah.
like
Well, yeah, you could.
with your van, like venues are closed and stuff right now. But if you're talking about having a van where you can just play out the back, like you could do that
Yeah.
during social distance times.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
Yep.
could do that outside,
And people
For
are
sure.
hungry for it too,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
if you
no
can,
one else is doing it.
yeah. And hey, when the weather gets cold up here, you go down south a little bit. and
Yeah.
people are still gonna want to hear some music outside, and do their thing. So
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I was thinking right now is just any way that you can figure out how to do a concert or whatever as an artist right now is great, because there's such a big demand and such a little like supply.
Yeah,
The supply
for
and
sure.
demand is so off right now.
No
So,
doubt.
anyone that can figure out how to keep live music going over the next couple of years is going to be, they're going to be the winners for sure.
no doubt.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Do you have something else you want to play?
Try this one. This is called "This Is the End."
What's it called?
This is the end.
This is the end.
miss your face. Maybe we can do this again, but for now, this is the end. I can see you for who you were. There's always truth beyond the lies. We wanted different things, and that's okay. We didn't have to be together, you'd always say. Should've just let you breathe. It just took a lot out of me. That's what happens when you don't love yourself. You merge into someone else. Am I ever gonna see you again? I'll miss your face. Maybe we could do this again, but for now, this is the end. And I can see you for who you were. There's always truth behind the lies. We wanted different things, and that's okay. We didn't have to be together, you'd always say.
That was Chey Halliwill, everybody. That was new,
Yeah, well,
new-ish.
2 years ago.
Okay. I feel like it's been that long
haven't
since
really
I've
played it live.
seen you, honestly, but yeah,
Just-
that felt really good. That was a great. I'm just loving the new sound.
you.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I'm loving it. Do
Amazing.
you have any other songs? I'd love to hear another song right now.
Yeah.
Do it.
This is called Ocean.
time to open up now. It's time to open up now, honey. Someday, yeah, you're gonna love yourself. And I've been swimming the deepest part of the ocean. And someday, yeah, you're gonna get some help. And I've been swimming the darkest parts of myself. And someday, yeah, you're gonna love yourself. And I've been swimming the deepest part of the ocean. And someday, yeah, you're gonna get some help. And I've been swimming in the darkest parts of myself.
That one was awesome. That one felt like it had some layers to it, you know? Like
Yeah,
there were some different layers that like there's like the motivational aspect where, you know, you're going to be better or whatever, you're talking to someone else, but then there's like the introspective aspect, and then there's also like kind of the relationship aspect there too. Like what is the perspective of that song? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to yourself? Are you talking to somebody else?
Both. Yeah. I feel like I do that a lot. Like, I'll write a song and it'll be like, oh, that was like about the last relationship that I was in. But then I like really listen to it again. I'm like, that's really like a lot of it is about myself and how I feel, like how I was feeling at the time. I was just like drowning.
So you're kind of like
hard.
reassuring yourself, you know, everything's going to be okay. You're going to get better. That kind of thing.
Yep.
I think that's super powerful in music too, because I mean, so many, especially like in hip hop and stuff like that, there's so much negativity in music, and you listen to your own songs so much. And I think like if you give yourselves reassuring words like that, or you talk, you know, you're positive with your music, it'll have like a positive effect on your health, because you're like listening to it, you're singing it, you know, you're kind of bringing it into reality by even just singing it or talking about it, you know?
Well, even like in a song, right? Like it's a repetition of a thing that you're saying to yourself, or you're saying it to
like
somebody
an
else.
Affirmation, basically.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like, I don't know. I always get into this tonality thing of like the sound of the music itself, and that song felt like just even like the chord progression and everything. Like there was like a certain exuberance to it that I like musically enjoyed. And I actually thought at one time too, it kind of, it did. It felt that way. So I like that. Like when music does that to me and I get that feeling, right? It's like kind of hard to describe, but I also thought that had like kind of like a 90s flavor almost. Like I don't know what I could compare it to. Like, I don't know, like Perry Farrell or like Porno for Pyros or something like came into my mind, like kind of, I don't know, it was like a sound. Well, check them out. You should. It just like stuff pops into my head and I don't even know if it's right or not. It's just like I make, like, you know, your brain makes these connections or something. And I think it was like the combination of your vocals or whatever. And I don't know, you listen to it and then like get back to me and tell me if I was if I was right. I'll get a message from you like on Facebook or something. You'll be like, dude, that shit was way off. Perry Farrell's nuts. How dare you compare? You
should send me the.
I'll send you a link.
The guy's name.
Yeah, I'll send you something and you tell me if I was close. But
for sure.
I gotta say, you know, like when you first came in and started, you know, kind of like noodling and we were doing sound check and stuff, I was digging the sound. But the more I hear, I just like can't wait to hear the rest of this EP and just the rest of the stuff you've got up your sleeve. So
yeah, I really love the new stuff too. Like just playing it feels really nice, good, and yeah. So the next song, I usually play this on the acoustic or whatever, but I think it'll be cool to play it on electric.
Yeah, it'll be like a new version.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Exclusive.
That's all right. Gonna do a little tune up. So yeah, if you're just joining us or you've been here for a while, we're with Chey Halliwill from Jackson, Michigan. We are doing a Grove Sessions. This is like the latest Grove Sessions we've done. Most of that's my fault. I think everybody's here slightly hungry. Next time we'll just like order a pizza. We'll just eat while we're
sessioning.
Right. But yeah, so we got another song. You good?
Yeah, this is called Seasons Change.
Sweet. All right.
from you. Pushing all my demons away. Touching the rain, riding the waves. Touching the rain, riding the waves. 2, 3, 4. And I will sing you lullabies at night, just to make sure you're alright. And you can run away from your demons, but that's okay, it might just be the season. 'Cause when seasons change, we do too. And you can run away from the demons, but that's okay, it might just be the season. 'Cause when seasons change, we do too. And I will sing you lullabies at night. And I will sing you lullabies at night. Change for a reason, change just like the seasons, changing with time, the everlasting kind.
Wow. I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love I love like that you're doing the looping stuff, and when
Yeah.
you know, it sounds so big. And my friend Kathy is piping in, and she's got great taste, and says beautiful and soulful,
thank you.
touching her heart.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, love the sound.
Shout out to Kathy. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank you.
tuning
Appreciate
in this
that.
whole time too. She's
For
been
sure.
sticking with us.
Oh, nice.
She also
She
used
loves what you're doing.
thanks
Yeah,
for sticking around.
Kathy,
I really appreciate that.
mesmerizing and positive are the
Wow.
words that she used. So, yeah, it's cool. It's nice to have feedback, right?
Yeah, I
It's
love
kinda weird
feedback.
in the virtual world where you're performing, you don't see the audience, but
Yeah.
you know, there's people listening, watching, and it sounds great.
I love how it's a big part of like what I like to do as a songwriter is take my experiences and try and have it help other people. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
I really feel that with your music, you know, like it's because you're not just, because a lot of the time depressing music like is, especially in hip hop and stuff, is just like, I'm so sad, you know, I'm going to take some pills to feel better. And, you know, that's the extent of it almost. But I feel like you really tap into like, you know, helping people see that, you know, change is inevitable and change is going to come, and you know, there are better days coming. So
wow. That's a really good
like
compliment.
that.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I love that. And I mean, if you had to pinpoint like, you know, a key message or vibes that you want to get across in your music, like what would they be?
I feel like you just said it, you know, like
he says good things.
Yeah, you're great at talking. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm a rapper.
But yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Facts.
Gotta be.
Been spitting bars for a decade. You know?
That's right.
No, yeah, the message is definitely like, I do want to help people. That's the biggest thing with like what I write about. I mean, mostly I just write about my experiences.
Yeah.
And I know other people go through those things too. So, you know, like if it can help somebody, then that's all that matters to me.
Yeah,
really.
for sure.
And that's the best way to help people is from your own experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people, because they can relate, they can see like, oh, you've actually been there. You've been super depressed, just like I feel right now, but like you worked your way out of it, you know, through making music and, you know, doing all these things.
And that's really hard to do. Like it's really hard to pull yourself out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard. It was hard. It took years for me to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
For me to like care about myself more. I've always
It sounds
cared about
crazy,
other
but
people.
yeah, for sure.
I've always cared about other people and like, man, just taking care of myself is the biggest thing, and I'm just like want to cry because it's just like I'm thankful and I'm like proud of myself for that.
Yeah.
You know?
And well, and like look what's happening, right? You made that decision for yourself, and I feel like, you know, you're on this path where you're gonna do great things, and if you hadn't done that, if you hadn't started to take care more for yourself, you wouldn't be going down that path. And you know, you were writing great music before. Don't get me wrong, but like. I can see like you're growing as an artist, and that's really cool to watch from somebody who's a fan of your music. So it's rad.
Thank you.
And if you didn't go through the pain and the hard things, you know, you wouldn't have had that inspiration. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You have to go through those things and to feel them, and that makes you who you are.
No doubt.
As a person.
Yeah.
We're all human, and we make mistakes. And we go through shit. And
But I like that idea.
Trenches, drag ourselves through the mud.
Do you have like, because I know there's certain songs or like, you know, certain records that I listen to at a certain part and like certain point in my life, right, where that music just it helped me through. And then I heard this song one time by it was Ben Folds wrote this song when Elliott Smith died, and it was like he said his name in the song and everything, and it was like that it was that. Do you like do you have any music like that like helped you through that, like somebody else's music that helped you through a rough time?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got a good example.
Yeah.
We're just trying to put together our playlist for the next couple weeks, so that's why I'm
a
asking.
huge Coldplay fan. I know.
Oh,
whatever.
Coldplay is fantastic.
They're one of the most successful bands in the world.
Yeah.
Bon Iver saved my life.
Yeah.
I think.
Nice.
His first album, I've listened to like a million times probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Skinny
Minnesota.
Love and that album's great too. Like just phenomenal. I've seen him live and the best show I've been to so many shows, and that's the best show I've ever been to in my life. Bon Iver is like one of my biggest. I'm like his biggest fan. I love him so much. He's
I think you're gonna open up for him one day.
I hope
I'm gonna
so.
call
That'd
it
be
right
awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna call it right now.
The big dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think, you know, you say your goal is to help people with music, and you're already doing it. And, you know, I mean, Kathy said she downloaded your album Rewind, and she's going to listen to it. So that's dope.
Awesome. Thank you.
But, you know, it's like, music is this crazy thing that just when we really connect to it, like you with Bon Iver, or, you know, it's like you pay attention so deeply, and so you're so into the music that you're totally present. It's almost like meditating, you know what I mean? So it really gives you that like cleansing, that just like freedom and peace just by like, because you're so in tune with it, you know
it
what
does.
I mean?
Like when I write and play and just like jam out, like I get into like this, just a different world. I'm in a different place, and I just like just lose everything else. Everything else around me, it just isn't there.
Yeah, your thoughts,
It's just
the
like,
constant thoughts.
Like you can feel it in your
gone.
stomach, in your heart.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then like when you get lost in that place, it feels so good.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
Like
And
it's like
that's-
that flow state.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's what I've like I've literally been obsessed with over these past few months, because like I realized that like meditating and getting into that state of like absolute presence
important.
is like, that's where you find that peace and that bliss, and it's like, holy
where the-
shit, that's a crazy realization, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That's where the key is.
Yeah.
It
Because we
is-
all love
The
doing,
knowledges.
we all love doing, you know, our hobbies that get us into that place. Because not everyone's a musician, but a lot of people have, you know, different hobbies. Whether, I mean, I like snowboarding, or I used
Yeah.
to like skateboarding. Those things still got me into that same
Yeah.
place of like no thought. You know what I mean? And I think,
any kind of
knitting.
yeah,
yeah,
definitely can.
exactly.
For sure.
I mean,
It's like people think they're in
There
love
are
with
things.
the actual act of doing things, but I think really what they're addicted to, and really what they like the most, is that feeling of being
Yeah.
so present with what you're doing that everything else kind of just melts away. And that's why I love meditation so much, because that's like that feeling, but without having to do anything. You're just kind of sitting there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I try to meditate. I like put on like
Yeah, I do guided ones.
stuff like when I go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't during the day. Really, I just like have to do stuff and be productive. And
Yeah,
stuff like that,
and I mean,
'cause-
you do it with your music, just like you're
Yeah.
saying. You know,
Yeah.
like
No
when
doubt.
you
That
get
is
in
a
that state,
meditation
that's
for
a
sure.
meditation
Yep.
for sure.
It
Absolutely.
is. 100%.
You know, and going to sleep, like, yeah, it helps so much going to sleep, like throwing something on. Like, I always have to throw something on to listen to, or else my brain just like keeps going. You know. What kind of stuff
It
do
will.
you like put on when you're going to sleep? Just like sounds, or like
Yeah, like meditation music
Mhm.
or like affirmations or something like that, or
Yeah.
like manifest
Mhm.
while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
like
sure.
it gives you like subconscious.
Yeah.
like it helps your subconscious
For sure.
like, think more positive.
Yeah, because
And-
like when you're the things they taught me in school, you know, back in the day, like study right before you go to bed, and your brain will continue basically learning the stuff as you're sleeping.
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind of the same thing with the affirmations, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing it right before you're going to sleep, as you're sleeping, your brain is still going over those same patterns and stuff. So when you wake up, you're feeling good.
I was just
I like
thinking
that.
when you're talking about that, I was thinking about that Breathscape or Breathscape app, right?
Yeah.
That these guys, they're local.
Yeah, like
guys.
deep belly breaths.
Yeah, but it's like
It's an app
it's
that
an
you
app.
throw on your chest, and then you,
put-
breathe, and
you
it like
put
coordinates
headphones
the
in.
music with your breathing. It's pretty weird.
Really? I've
Yeah,
never heard of that.
it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Really cool.
It's called
ca-
Breathscape.
Breathscape. And it's being developed like right down the street. These guys are brilliant.
Wow, that's amazing, dude.
Yeah, you should try it because it's an interesting experience.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I tried it out.
just because it's music, but it's based on the rhythm of your breathing, which is just
Yeah.
wild. It uses the gyroscope like inside. I think
your
it's called
phone.
the gyroscope
whatever,
inside the
yeah,
phone. Whatever
yeah.
senses motion and direction and stuff. Like why your phone can tell that you're walking and stuff. Like it's got
Mm-hmm.
a little sensor in it, so it like takes advantage of that sensor to like create music based on your breathing.
breaths
How
and
crazy
stuff.
is that, right?
It creates it while you're breathing.
Yeah, like you put it on
Yeah.
your chest, and then it moves the phone while you breathe. So and it senses that, and it changes the music based on your breathing.
It's wild.
Wow, that is wild.
yeah.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah,
Right. I
that's
think
cool.
I
That's
think
really
it's the only thing like that. But
Yeah. But you're incredible at everything you do, and you know there's a lot of people out there that you know might want to do what you do, like be a guitarist, be a songwriter, to build a van to go touring. Like, what advice would you give to someone you know that's just getting started, you know, in music or guitar or whatever that maybe wants to get to the level that you're at right now?
Just stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Play every day.
boom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important.
Practice.
Yeah.
10,000
And
hours.
Just believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Yeah. Don't doubt yourself. I mean, there's going to be some of that, but just tell yourself that it's going to be all right and you can get through that, you know?
Yeah.
But definitely just playing. Like I've been playing since I was 15. So, you know, it takes a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a journey. Like it's just a long journey, but if you're dedicated enough and you stick to it,
Yeah.
Anybody, you know, you can do it.
And the long journey is actually almost the better way to take it, because the people that blow up and get crazy successful when they're 18 and have only put in a couple years, they're not as technically sound as the people that have put in 10, 15 years into their craft and then reach success. You're going to be, you know, a master at your craft at that point, you know.
Exactly.
So, and, you know, it gives you time to learn the business stuff too, because a lot of the young people get taken advantage of a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's kind of important. You got to know the business side of it. And yeah, that's a really good point though. I love the fact that you know, you just said just play. Like you just have to keep doing it. You know, we all know somebody who maybe like gave up. Like, oh, I used to do music, and they kind of went on. And I've met people like that, like years after, and it's like, oh yeah, I wish I never woulda, and then they're trying to like get back into it, and it's like, you know, it feels a little sad, but it's never too late. You know, go ahead and get back into it. That's awesome too. But consistency, it's like Dan always says, our he's a business coach. He's our business coach, and he's also a personal coach to me. But he always says consistency wins over intensity, right? Like it's being consistent and doing it, and just keep plugging away, keep making music, keep making records. I love that part.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I think there's a misconception too. Like people think like you have to be young to make it in the music industry, you know, and especially nowadays with the age of social media and, you know, where you can build your own fan base and, you know, live off of that yourself. You don't need like the help of the major music industry to be a successful artist anymore. You know, there is no age limit. You know, you can be 40, 50, just all, I mean, obviously if you're 70 years old and you're like rapping and trying to be like, you know, the new age kind of thing, that might be like a little weird and the kids might not, you know, latch onto it. But I think, you know, I mean, there's plenty of guitar players and singer-songwriters and stuff that are older, you know, that are still killing it, you know.
No doubt.
So
I would say like one of my favorite guitar players, like nobody, you know, unless you were really into like avant-garde noise jazz, nobody really knew who he was. And then he got a gig playing with Wilco, and everybody was like, "Oh, Nels Cline." And he's like one of the, you know, I don't know, Rolling Stone named like top 100 guitarists of all time. And he was like 50 before anybody knew who he was. And I was like, that's
the thing. He had the time to put in to become one of the top guitarists of all time.
Right.
Before he got recognized. And then all of a sudden you're recognized. You're like, holy shit, this person's amazing. Where'd they come from?
Yeah.
You know?
And you're not 50. So you've got,
it was like, just never gave up. Because like when you give up, like you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's why giving up is just like not an option for me, at least.
Yeah.
But you never know what you could write tomorrow.
You're closing off that entire like universal path for yourself if you give up, you know?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
That's never been in my blood. I can't. I'm not like that.
Well, it certainly shows, because I feel like I'm trying to go back and figure out like how long have I known you and seen you perform. I mean, it's been, I feel like at least like 5 years or something like that. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool. I always like to see, you know, friends and people in the scene like grow and like stick with it, and like you've definitely done that. And I was excited about this
so
today that you were coming out.
Yeah, it was dope.
I know it's a long drive, and you came all the way out here to hang with us. Took a little longer than we thought, but
that's okay. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad.
So
It's
much.
Friday. It's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to? Do we have time for?
Yeah. Do you have another
like,
song or anything?
Like one more?
I would
Like a
have to get my
freestyle one.
acoustic out, but I could play that one that was loud.
Oh, the loud one.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. That's a good way to go out.
Fuck it.
Cool.
Loud. Let's get loud. Let's get loud
Get
in
loud.
Yeah. It's Friday.
Nothing's making me better. Yeah. Nothing's making me better. So get out of my head, 'cause I need it more than you. And get out of my heart, 'cause I need it more than you. And nothing's making me better. Yeah. Nothing's making me better. You can show your face here, 'cause I don't love you anymore, my dear. There's nothing there for you to see. But I've been down. And nothing's making me better. Yeah. Nothing's making me better. So get out of my head, 'cause I need it more than you. So get out of my heart, 'cause I need it more than you. 'Cause I need it more than you.
Wow.
Yeah. I
That's
just
a
like let
powerful-
this. Yeah, it's super powerful.
That's a powerful like image. Get out of my head, get out of my heart, because I need it more than you.
Yeah.
That's dope. Where did like how did you come up with these lines? They just come to you
Yeah.
or what?
Oh yeah, I was like going through a really rough time, and not too long ago, and I was like, man, drowning in like heartbreak and stuff, and well, not really, just like losing people is hard for me. So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, I was just like jamming out. It was like a 20-minute jam on my just down in this basement, and I was just like,
And you just went with
just
it.
just came out of my, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It's a
No,
powerful
I love
song.
that because
Yeah.
and that is like it is so true because like when you go through a breakup or something like that, like you just can't stop thinking about it. You know, like it's
Yeah.
like it's
Facts.
in your head. It's in your head. It's like get out of my head. But the thing is one thing I realized, you know, is this you know year is that a lot of the pain and suffering that we feel is from thinking about the issue, you know? So it's like if you're sitting there thinking about, oh, you know, I wish this, or wishing things were different than they actually are, wishing things were different
Yeah.
than what is, you know?
Yeah, and I always just feel so nostalgic, but it's really hard for me to lose like people. I like to still be connected to people even if they hurt me in a certain way. I'm just like that. Like I still
get that.
want those
I
people
really
in my
do.
life, and it's hard for me to let go of that.
Yeah, well, and it's
You
hard
know.
too because like you did, care for that person, and it's hard to like just all of a sudden not, even if they did hurt, because you. Well, I mean, people forgive, right? Like I definitely have people like that I know that did hurt me in some way, but it's like after a while, it's like, all right, and there was an apology maybe, or there's something, and it's like you can still,
Yeah, you can be friends.
operate.
Like, why can't we
in
be
a-
friends?
Yeah, maybe we can. I don't like going down that road of like, because then there's sometimes like I think nothing's worse than like the resentment thing, like carrying that with you.
Yeah,
Like it's
Well, it's hurting yourself.
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. And I think it can add to like bitterness, like,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be, like I always said, I don't want to be that like old, like bitter, grumpy
No.
guy, like, so
Yeah.
how do you release stuff, right? And
Yeah,
move
talk
on,
about
but
it
you
and-
talk about it for sure.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
For sure. All
That-
the time.
That loops back right into like the
Communication.
lyrics of like "Get Out of My
Yeah.
Head," because it's like that resentment. Like I need it more than you. Like that resentment is taking up brain power,
No doubt.
and literally pulling you down and,
Yeah.
and holding you back. When it's like, yeah, you need that brain
Yeah.
power to push you forward. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It's
So
like,
if you can
man.
strip yourself of those, those constant negative thoughts in your head and stuff. you
Yeah,
know?
I was just done of overthinking it, and thinking about it constantly. That's just how I am, though. Like I'm just constantly thinking
analyzing.
Yeah.
about things that have happened, like anything. Really.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like always overthinking about stuff, and like it just always helps. It helps me to write about
Yeah.
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
always has. It's
Yeah.
like my outlet. The only way, really, in the moment. Because if I'm feeling like that, it's really, I don't like talking about it. I like feeling it and writing about it.
Yeah.
Because
That's how you process it.
Yeah, I've always done that.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just feel so much better. I feel like a lot of relief when I get it out. It's like the only way I know how to release it in the moment, and then I talk about it with people, of course, that are like close to me.
Yeah. Like kind of after that you've gotten that off your chest in a way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's super interesting, and I just it's like I wonder how many of how many artists are like that in a sense, because it's like I guess it's like you're helping people because people are hearing the words that you're saying, they're connecting with those lyrics, and then we also end up with this personal body of music that you've created, right? Like over the years, you've created these bodies of artwork that you've let out into the world, and then all these people get to benefit from listening to it. I mean, I just, that's one of the reasons that I love music so much, is because
Yeah.
that is the thing that it can do.
Yeah.
And it's super cool to hear this new stuff and some of the old stuff. So you're gonna release this music. You're gonna do this thing. You're gonna do some traveling at some point. Anything else in the near future, like going on? Are you
Nothing
are you
much.
doing the artwork? Are you doing
Yeah, I did
You're
all-
doing all
I'm
the.
doing
It's
all by
totally
myself.
self-produced and
Yeah.
doing all the stuff, all the things.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the artwork for my EP is a picture that I took of the person that I was with for a long time. That they're like, it's like a collection of songs that like it was from that period time.
Yeah.
Besides Play It Well, but yeah, that is a picture I took, and then I just edited it myself and just like threw some words on there.
Hey, sometimes that's all you need. I
It's
mean, those are some of
fine,
my
yeah.
favorite album covers are
Yeah.
like a picture and some font.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's amazing. And as long as it looks good to you, it's gonna look good to other people. So yeah.
And having that skill set too is super important, even if it's just the basic just to be able to edit photos a little bit and throw some text on there. Like, in today's age
Yeah.
of content, like artists need to be, videographers and photographers and
No doubt.
everything like that, you know.
And audio
I
engineers.
just did it all on my phone.
Yeah.
Just downloaded some like picture editing apps and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then the single that I'm gonna release is "Play It Well," which I played in the beginning. Is I had messed around with like a bunch of different pictures, and then I got like the one that was like, you know, the one.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Love it.
It's gonna be sweet. I'm super excited. So I plan on releasing that song September 22nd,
Very cool.
the first day of fall.
You guys hear it first, September 22nd, and they can follow you on Instagram is
yeah.
the jam.
Instagram's the jam.
Yeah.
The jam.
We can even after
Chey
you
Hall
release
music.
your single,
Chey
like if you
Chey
went-
Hall Music on Instagram. Follow it, and keep up to date on what's happening next, because it's gonna be September and there's some in October, and
Yeah.
we got a bunch of music to listen to in the fall. That's cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah, and when you do release the single, if you want to have another conversation or something like that about it, or just to promote it or whatever, just let us know.
Yeah,
like,
that'd
even
be
if we
sweet.
just did it over Zoom, you didn't want to come all the way out or whatever,
Yeah.
we could definitely sit down and have another conversation, just try and get
Okay.
some promotion about it.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah,
For sure.
I would love to
Yeah,
do that.
let's do it.
Yeah.
So, I always like to ask this question at the end. It's that time for that
It's that
question?
time.
Yeah. All right. So there's lots of uncertainty, right? We still have this, this COVID thing going on, and the economy's weird and all that, and the music business is kind of weird too, right? But we're still going to make music. But what do you? You are still making music. So there's all this uncertainty. What do you think is most certain still with the uncertainty?
That's a good question.
it can be anything too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like what is certain,
Certain
to
with
you?
you,
What do you
certain-
think is certain in this in this crazy world?
I don't know. My dog.
Nice.
Yeah. Dogs.
My dog. Me. My family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Keeping your loved ones close.
Yeah,
that is definitely
friends.
certainly an important thing.
And
and-
your enemies closer. No,
Yeah, well, Rick, we know
I-
you got a lot of enemies out there.
I am a jerk. You do too. You can tell you got
My
tons
dog's
of
always
enemies.
there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What
pure,
kind of dog?
So pure,
Yeah.
just pure love.
He's my favorite thing in the world.
Nice.
I love him so much.
I love that.
Perfect.
Well, listen, I thank you for taking the time.
I had a
Thank
lot
you
of
for
fun.
being patient with us as we got a late start on the technical side, but
Yeah.
it turned out well.
Oh, I'm glad we worked it out. 'Cause
Yeah,
it ended
we-
up sounding really good. so-
Yeah,
Sweet.
I'm really pleased with the way it sounded, and you deserve that because your music is amazing, and I appreciate it. Chey Halliwill from Jackson, Michigan, singer, songwriter, indie folk, ethereal, gorgeous, amazing, like swirling stuff. I can't wait to hear the recordings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for
I'm
tuning in.
excited for you guys to hear him.
yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to Kathy Myers again. She held it down.
No doubt, Kathy. Shout
Yeah,
out,
thanks
shout
for
out.
listening.
Kathy, no, Kathy, she's staying up. It's a little late for you, Kathy. Yeah, really appreciate everybody tuning in. If you didn't catch some of the, the performance in between, definitely go back and listen to those tunes. Chey Hall Music on Instagram,
Yep.
and we got a thing coming up tomorrow, actually, too. We're gonna have it's a special Arts Beats and Eats performance out in the courtyard, weather
Nice.
permitting, of course.
Yeah. I was actually gonna check the weather.
Yeah, and we got the Valerie Barrymore and the Foundation of Funk
Arts, Beats, and
That
Eats,
sounds
baby.
for Arts Beats and Eats.
Arts,
Yeah,
Beats, and Eats
Come out.
virtual.
bunch of
Check it
yeah. You
But
have,
we do have like limited tickets available. It's going to be
That's
a
right.
socially distanced show. We're a part of Washtenaw County. We can only have 25 people in a gathering outside, but we're selling 15
Oh,
tickets.
okay.
Our crew's going to
Forgot
be
about
less
that.
than 10 people, so you can go to the event page. If you just search like Arts Beats and Eats or Grove, go to our events on Grove Studios, you'll see it. And the ticket link is on there if you guys want to come out and enjoy a safe and socially distanced live music experience.
right here in the courtyard in
Yes.
Grove Studios, right behind me. So, yeah, great. Well, Grove Sessions, Chey Halliwill, and Max Price.
Yeah.
Thank you as always for being here.
Thank you.
And special shout out to, well, you can't see her, but Kyla is just in the background here.
Thank you, Kyla.
There she is. She's been so patient and kind and snapping wonderful photos.
Yeah, head photographer at Grove Studios. And
Excellent
tomorrow it is
photographer.
looking 78, partly sunny. It's looking like a nice day to come out and enjoy some music.
That sounds perfect.
Come out and
Very, very
jam
good.
out.
Well, we appreciate you all,
Sweet.
and you guys have a great weekend. Have a good night, and yeah.
Yeah. Peace, guys. Thank
Peace.
you.